ERC consultation to determine if you qualify. Omega is the small business champion, with teams dedicated to maximizing tax credits. They know their stuff so well that CPAs and payroll companies even turn to Omega for ERC tax guidance. Call 800-300-9ERC. That's 800-300-9ERC. 1-800-300-9ERC. Or visit OmegaTaxCredits.com.
Finally, one more thought. Sometimes history doesn't just rhyme, it actually does repeat itself. This week, the U.S. celebrated Groundhog Day. That's when we all gather around to see whether Puxatawny Phil, that famous large Pennsylvania rodent, will or will not see his shadow, which, of course, determines how long winter will last for the rest of us. We do it every single year.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
Just as we repeat other rituals, like, for example, when we regularly gather to have the Fed chair tell us how inflation would go away on its own, until it didn't.
Our expectation is that these high inflation readings that we're seeing now will start to abate, and that's what we think. There will be inflation, but that the process of inflation will stop. In the end, it will be transitory, and people need to have faith in the central bank.
We also regularly gather to hear Mike Novogratz tell us that the rosy future for Bitcoin is just around the corner.
5 years out, if Bitcoin's not at 500,000, I'm wrong on the adoption cycle. There's tremendous amount of venture capital that continues to come into space. $5 billion last quarter, $9 billion the quarter before that. We've got all kinds of projects that we want for when the institutions come. Crypto will take off again. I think it gets to $100,000 or higher by the end of the year because I see all these new participants coming in.
The world of sports is not without its own version of Groundhog Day, the special ritual when sports megastars announce their retirement, only to have to do it all over again when their retirement doesn't take. Like, for example, Michael Jordan.
I am here to announce my retirement from the game of basketball. There won't be another announcement for baseball or anything of that nature.
Or this week, of course, Tom Brady.
I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring. For good.
But leave it to Congress to have a series of Groundhog Days even Hollywood would find too fantastic to put into a movie. As the House of Representatives last month voted for Speaker again.
A Speaker has not been elected.
And again.
A Speaker has not been elected.
And again.
A Speaker has not been elected.
Leading one of our representatives, Republican Kat Cammack of Florida, to christen it officially.
My colleague. Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again.
That does it for this episode of Wall Street Week. I'm David Weston. This is Bloomberg. See you next week.
Global market news changes in an instant, so don't miss a minute. Listen to Bloomberg 1130 anytime, anywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Tune in, the Bloomberg Business app, and Bloomberg.com.
Join us in Atlanta on February 28th for Bloomberg's Intelligent Automation Briefing about transformation in a time of uncertainty. During this special evening event, top business and IT executives will gather to explore ways in which intelligent automation can offset economic pressures and help organizations thrive by enhancing operational efficiencies and stakeholder value. This program is proudly sponsored by IBM. Register at BloombergLive.com/automation/radio.
Stay connected with Bloomberg wherever you are with Bloomberg Podcasts. On Zero, we speak with Sweden's 27-year-old climate minister about the country's goal of reaching net zero by 2045. On Odd Lots, Macquarie Capital strategist Victor Schvedt declares victory for Team Transitory and the soft landing. And on Trillions, are ETFs killing future stock market returns? Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Bloomberg.com.
Debbie Hart is president of BioNJ, which represents the interests of more than 400 New Jersey-based biotech companies. She's also a strong voice in the biotech sector, supporting research universities like New Jersey Institute of Technology. She sees NJIT as a valuable partner in attracting venture capital and biotech startups to the Garden State.
So the number one reason the companies come here to New Jersey for the biotech industry is for our talent. We estimate that there were about 30 biotech companies in the early 90s in New Jersey, about 80 in 1998. Today there are more than 400. And that growth continues, and it's come from every possible angle. Other countries, other states, they've spun out of our academic institutions as well as our biotech and our pharma companies, and we expect that growth to continue long into the future. And NJIT is a pipeline for talent, for companies, for entrepreneurs to do that important work.
NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Learn more at njit.edu.
From the financial capital of the world, broadcasting 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com and the Bloomberg Business app. This is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130. Now, a global news update.
The Pentagon is monitoring a Chinese surveillance balloon moving across the U.S. Brigadier General Pat Ryder said the high-altitude balloon has violated U.S. airspace and international law.
And it's currently over the center of the continental United States. Again, we currently assess that the balloon does not present